Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some figures from one of the more recent waves of the 6-inch Black Series line from Hasbro, and this time around we're going to take a look at everybody's favourite army builder. This time around we're looking at the Episode 2 Phase 1 Clone Trooper. This could have been a really cool figure, although I am hugely disappointed with it. Upon first impressions, it looks fairly good. But once you get into the nitty-gritty of this figure, it's not so great, and I'll talk about why that is in just a few moments. Before we do, as always, we're going to take a look at the packaging that this figure comes in. Now bear with me because I have buried it somewhere. Here it is, it's hiding away from me. Once again, awesome packaging with this one. You've got the very cool black and orange colour scheme, you've got the glossy Star Wars logo, and a very nice image of the Clone Trooper in the top corner. On the reverse side, we do get the Star Wars logo once again, as well as a character description and an image from the film. Now this is of course a standard white Clone Trooper, although I dare say it's inevitable that Hasbro are going to milk this sculpt and we're going to see all the rainbow and M&M clones that we've seen throughout the Star Wars saga. You know, we'll get the blue version, we'll get the yellow version, no doubt we'll get the red version, and I dare say we'll get the green one. So, you know, if white Clone Troopers aren't your thing, then bide your time and I'm sure those releases will come. So let's talk about this figure, and before we do, we are going to take a zoom in on this guy. Before I run through articulation and accessories, I will talk about the sculpt and the plastic used on this figure because it's a little bit odd. First and foremost, I'm not particularly impressed with the paint applications on the helmet. They do look very mismatched, you know. There appears to be some paint missing from the mouthpiece on the helmet there. The visor is just a little bit sloppy. That rim around the brow of the helmet, that's very sloppy as well. Not great in terms of paint application, so I'm a little bit disappointed with that. So that's my first gripe with the figure. The sculpt of the helmet, don't get me wrong, it's awesome. It's just a shame it wasn't painted so well. The sculpt itself is generally okay, you know, not much you can expect from a Clone Trooper figure, very basic, very simple. All the appropriate proportions are there, you know, all the details on the armour. For all intents and purposes, it's a very good figure. However, as I mentioned previously, the plastic that Hasbro have used on this guy, I don't know what went wrong with it. It's very soft. Look at this. What is going on there? You've got some very bendy legs on this guy, very bendy arms. He just feels very loose, very cheap, and very tacky. And that's not the kind of quality I've come to expect from the 6-inch figures. You know, one of the reasons that I've begun to stray away from 3 3/4-inch figures is because the quality seems to be decreasing, and already it appears to be happening with the 6-inch line as well. So I'm really not too keen on that, and I hope that previous or future releases rather will improve upon that. But yeah, he doesn't quite hit the mark in terms of stability and overall quality. He's, you know, a little bit lackluster in that respect. In terms of accessories, he's, you know, well equipped. He comes with the DC-15S carbine pistol and the DC-15 large rifle. A little bit of weathering on these things wouldn't have gone amiss, but I dare say Hasbro have gone for the fresh out of Camino look for this figure. In terms of articulation, you've got all the right, you know, articulation points and joints that you would expect from the 6-inch line. We have a ball jointed head, ball hinged shoulders, double joints in the elbows, a ball joint in the torso, hinged hips, swivel thighs, double joints in the knees, and double joints in the ankles. Now the only thing that I have to complain about in terms of the articulation system on this figure is that the joints aren't very well hidden. As you can see, you've got those white pins through the arms there which stand out like a sore thumb, and the knees don't particularly look that great either. So yeah, just fails to hit the mark just a little bit with this Clone Trooper figure. Really wasn't what I was expecting, and I am really a little bit disappointed with it. Your experiences though, for those of you watching, may be different, so by all means leave a comment in the section below and let me know what you think of this figure. As a display piece and, you know, upon face value, it looks very good. But as I said, once you get into the nitty gritty and you start playing around with this figure, it just lacks in so many areas, and yeah, had the potential to be so much better. But once again, Hasbro have let us down. So yeah, not such a fan of the Clone Trooper. Hopefully when we see the later releases of the different variants of these clones, and hopefully the inevitable release of the Phase 2 Clone Trooper, we'll see some improvements made, but for me this figure just doesn't quite hit the mark. So let me know what you think of this guy, and I hope you've enjoyed this review, despite how negative it's been. I will be back to give you a look at a slightly cooler figure in my next review, although that one is slightly disappointing in some aspects as well. So let's not keep this up, Hasbro, you know, let's, instead of taking a slow decline with the 6-inch line, let's keep it at the quality that it's been so far. So I hope you enjoyed having a look at the 6-inch Clone Trooper figure from Hasbro's Black Series. This guy is available now in stores as part of Wave 4, and you know, I'm not going to recommend it because there are some things wrong with it, but if you're just looking for a 6-inch display piece, this is your guy. So thank you for watching this review, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Until then, as always, keep collecting. May the Force be with you.